Good morning. It is Thursday, July 17th, 2025. My name is Ruben Austria. I'm with Revolution Realty Capital.
And I'm Martin Magana. I'm with RMS Real Estate.
Welcome to Learning Local Live. Let's make it happen.
Relying on work.
Martin, thank you
Good
so
morning,
much for
Ruben.
being here, man. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, all right. Well, welcome to Learning Local Live. My name is Ruben Austria. I excited to talk about today's show. We are presenting an off-market deal in sunny Oceanside, California. Martin's here. He's a wholesaler with Armis. Looking forward to talking about this amazing property in Oceanside, Martin.
Yeah, same here. It's an off market, like Ruben said, in the Oceanside area. Pretty well known area in the North County region. It's definitely one of the more desirable areas, especially near the coast. This one's a little bit higher above the Vista area, but regardless, it's still in a good pocket. That's a fairly newer build, so it's a very desirable little square of the Oceanside market.
100%. Yeah, I live in the Carlsbad area. Oceanside is right next door. I know you're in San Marcos, right
Mhm.
next door to you. One thing that I want to mention, Learning Local Live is about, we're a national platform. We're about not only presenting opportunities and properties, we are presenting the local area. So, if you've never heard of Ocean Camp, this is an amazing development happening in Oceanside. There's going to be 700 housing units, really a modern community in the city of California. I'm sorry, the city of Oceanside, boasting 667 all-electric solar-powered homes, a 300-room resort hotel, 134,000 feet of retail and office space, and biggest thing is a 3.5 acre wave pool. Martin, do you surf?
Oh, I just started surfing, so yeah,
Oh
I'm very
man,
excited for this.
awesome would that be? This is, I mean, like the reason why I want to mention it is because Learn Local is about really presenting real estate development. And honestly, um, Martin, if people didn't want to be in Oceanside, you wouldn't be presenting such a great deal, right? So
Yeah,
that's the whole point of us being here.
yeah. North
Um,
County's hot right now, so that's one of our main
North
focuses.
County is hot. So I'm from Revolution Realty Capital, a private lender. I help Martin make these rehab projects even possible for the investors that he works with. So um, this show is made possible. We'll talk a little bit more about lending options. Um, Learning Local Live, if this is your first time tuning in, it's the ability for us to present live information, live deals with live people, right? So it's getting harder and harder to know what's real and what's fake, Martin. The whole point of what we're doing here is to just give people great information and have them know that, hey, it's not coming from a robot, it's not coming from AI, it's not coming from a deep fake, and we want to help investors. Whether you're new or whether you're looking to invest in your first property, whether you're looking to invest in your 100th property, we want to be a value add and really present the opportunity in a great way. And this wouldn't be possible, like I said, without people like Martin, subject matter experts who are doing things in the real estate space. We happen to be in the North County, San Diego area. That's why we're presenting this deal here. So, Martin, without further ado, you're one of those subject matter experts. So please, introduce yourself for a minute, and then we're going to just start talking about this property.
Of course. Yeah. So my name is Martin Magana. I represent RMS Real Estate Investments. We're wholesalers out here in the San Diego area, but we also primarily focus up in North County. We're trying to kind of revolutionize how wholesalers are seen in our market because we have this reputation of being shady, not being transparent, but we're the complete opposite. Our thing is building relationships with our clients and making sure everybody walks away with a win. So we do that by keeping our deal super lean. And we just make sure that all around you just have a great experience, whether you need help with lending, you need help with running comps, getting ARV, making sure we all agree on the numbers before we let you go out there, just to make sure we're not wasting anybody's time, and we, like I said before, everybody walks away with a win.
Awesome, awesome. Well, it's important. It's important that you make note of that because, like I said, I mean, there's so many things that needs to happen in order for a property to be, sold, and
Yep.
we're creating this network to starting with an opportunity with what you have, Martin, and then eventually we are going to be bringing in a ton of different partners. So let's just get started, Martin. I want you to start going through the property. Let's, as if I know these are the photos, so you have complete control. So let's walk through the property and show me why this is an amazing project for
Yeah.
investors.
So this one, like I said, it's in Oceanside, California, a little bit above the Vista area. So this area is definitely full of new builds. This one's a 91 build. So the main aspect of this house that helps a lot is going to be the curb appeal. Whenever the curb appeal is in there, you have to do so much in the landscaping. You have to do so much just making it look pretty on the outside. This one's already there. So good roof, good bones in the front. The landscaping in the front, it could be cleaned up a little bit. For the most part, you don't really have to touch anything. Same with the exterior yard, all that. It's all in great shape. Maybe just a little pressure washing on the side, but for the most part, everything just seems in great shape. The inside, the downside, it's outdated. It hasn't been updated since the 90s. And there's a lot of junk everywhere. So this one is the standard loft.
That's expected
Yeah.
in a rehab house,
Yeah.
typically.
So this property features a 2-car garage, which has been overtaken by junk, which the sellers will clear a good amount of it, but the rest of it will be on any investor to just clear on their own. I've seen houses where the property is just, it looks like it was on hoarders buried alive. So this isn't too bad. It's all just fairly straightforward stuff to pick up. Some of them can get really bad. This is one of the 3 bathrooms. The house features a 4-bed, 3-bath, 2-car garage, and then right above the garage, there's going to be a little loft space you can put as additional storage. But very, very straightforward cosmetic flip. You don't have to do much at all. Replace the bathroom. Just do your typical. Just update your features. If you want to get a new, what do you call it, bathtub shower, I would definitely replace the shower. The flooring you could keep, but a lot of people aren't a big fan of that tile, especially that color. Here's the other angle of it.
Yeah, that's not a common color tile.
Yeah.
It's dark.
And then the kitchen, you can't see it as much from this angle, but again, cluttered. A lot of it, you just pick up the sides of the what do you call it, the mat on it. Just pick it up, and you walk out with all of it. So easy pick up right there. But yeah, outdated kitchen, outdated flooring. Need some paint, but for the most part, it's your straight up, straightforward, easy cosmetic fix and flip, where you don't have to do anything. It's not a full gut. You don't have to. There's no major issues. This one's on city sewer, so all the big feature items, the water tank, the roofing, the electrical, it's all taken care of. It's all good. So again, it would just be the fix and flip. And then, replace the carpet everywhere for the most part. And then, probably redo the flooring. And if you want to change up this bathroom, you wouldn't have to, but it's always recommended if you want to maximize the value you're pulling out of it.
Got it. So this home is currently occupied, Martin. So that's something, right? Got it. Yeah, I mean, obviously on live video, there's only so much you can see, but it's a typical kind of condition for something that's been lived in, but obviously not updated to recent standards that a lot of people who might be buying homes now. So I'm sorry. Are you still done going through the pictures? You still going through the pics?
Yeah, I just have that's the last one.
Cool. Okay. So one of the questions that I had, and we're actually, half of this is we're going to use half of the live to talk about, present the deal, talk about the questions, and then we'll talk specifically more about potential lending options, and we'll take some live Q&A as well. So in terms of the rehab and ARV, I know that you presented 2 different options, one for light rehab, and then one for let's just say a full
higher end luxury flip, almost.
Higher end luxury flip. Can you explain the differences? Because and then provide the numbers that you.
So your straightforward fix and flip is just like you do the bare minimum to just get it up to date, get it similar to the comps in the area. You could do a fairly decent job to get there. A lot of people will do the cheapest rehab possible to reach those levels, and you will achieve those levels on that. It's just we don't encourage that, because if you put a little bit more effort, put a little bit more money into your rehab, you can definitely elevate it past our comps. Our main comp right now for basic ARV would be 1.3, and 1.3, 1.28, 1.3 is kind of where everyone's agreeing that the ARV is sitting. But that being said, there's no reason you can't get a little bit higher if you put in these luxury finishes. That being the fixtures, that being just how you paint it, how you set it up. Maybe even like redoing the layout of some of the features, such as the bathtub, the shower, little things like that. Like repositioning those or just completely redoing them is how you elevate it to that next step above that 1.3 rehab.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the what was the rehab? What was the rehab estimations for the light rehab, Martin?
So after running our numbers and talking to a few people about it, if you're above 150K on this, you're doing too much. So it should be. We typically like to do based on if it's cosmetic or if it's a full gut, a certain price per square foot. On this one, you shouldn't need anything more than $55 per square foot. But we're thinking anywhere from 45 to 55, especially if you're a contractor. You can definitely get away with a little bit cheaper on the per square footage price. So
Got it. So on the 1.3 ARV, that
like 130, 120
okay, that's assuming that you're
for
spending.
the rehab, yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. So I know on the as part of the packet, and we can share the link to the packet as well. You had talked about potential ADU potential. Can we talk about that as well? Because I know as far as rehabs are concerned, people are renovating the interior, but they're also adding ADUs, especially in California. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the backyard, it's fairly big, but it's nothing special. The thing that separates it from the other comps that we have in the area is that most of the comps have hardtop flooring, which is where it's just like the concrete in the backyard. It's not as desirable as like an actual just grassy, like at least a half hardtop versus a full hardtop is just not as desirable. So there's definitely room back there to add something if you want. It probably isn't the best move in this area, but that's also the potential it has. So
Got it. What about potential rents in the area? How does it compare to what you'll see as far as fetching market rent?
based on the area, you should have no problem with the rent, especially you're near the middle schools in this area. And then the Oceanside School District is another reason people are moving over here. So getting rent shouldn't be too hard, especially the main thing is just making sure that when you renovate it, it's clean enough where somebody's like a family's going to want to move into it. And um, once you do, you'll have no problem getting the exact market rents. It should be around a little bit over 2,000 in this area. Um, but yeah,
Got
based on the proximity to the schools and all that, you shouldn't have any issue. It really depends on how you market it after you flip. But that's one of the most important parts that people kind of fall short on is not pricing it too high, because they're expecting a counter. So a lot of people like to price them super high right off the bat, and then it's gonna sit. And the longer it sits, the lower people are gonna start price or offering. So you gotta be
it.
careful with that.
Yeah. How about I know like the Burr buy,
Yeah.
renovate, and refinance, and then rent is a very very popular option. Um, maybe not as a single family 12-month lease rental, long term rental, but maybe this is a coastal property. Again, Oceanside is in Southern California, probably one of the most vacation spots in the area. I mean, how about a short term rental play on this property,
That
Martin?
could work too, especially as an Airbnb. The issue with Oceanside is that everywhere has the same issue. We're getting permits through the city, especially to do Airbnb. You have to apply. And there's only so many they give out at a time. So one thing about Oceanside is that it's actually a lot easier to get permits than some of these other areas.
Mm,
You still have to wait, obviously, but it's definitely a cleaner process than somewhere like in San Diego or in El Cajon. And that being said, with Airbnb, if you could apply and you could make it work, then you should have no problem because again, it's a good area. It's near the ocean, so being able to set this up as an Airbnb, you'll have access into the San Marco area. You can go um, west into the ocean, go towards Coastal or Carlsbad, and if you're kind of centrally located from San Marcos Vista, and then the western part of Oceanside, which is where the coastal beach towns are. So.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, no, I mentioned that because a lot of, like I said, short term rentals usually in a lot of vacation spot areas. It doesn't necessarily matter where you are. You don't have to be right on the coast. At least you're in this striking distance of any kind of beach that you might be visiting in North County.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the one good thing about San Diego. You're always near the ocean, so
100%, 100%. So really quickly, what I want to do is just mention that investor,
oops.
and you just sorry, that's played the wrong video. Um, yeah, so again, I mentioned that I'm with Revolution Realty Capital. I imagine like not everyone buys your properties cash, Martin. Maybe there's some that do. Maybe you said 20%, I believe, when we had a conversation about cash buyers. Is that
Yeah.
right? Cool. Well, unless if you don't have cash, which a lot of investors, even if they did have cash, wouldn't use their own capital. You go to a private lender like Revolution Realty Capital for your needs. So, just want to quickly go over our offerings and what we can do. We're a nationwide private money lender offering private money loans to investors for several different options. In this case, it's you'd be looking at a fix and flip loan. We typically go up to 85% loan to cost. We can close in less than 10 days and have a $4 million max loan amount on any given single family. Typically, when we see a seasoned investor that might be looking to buy a property like this, we can get them up to 90 LTV on the purchase of the home, and then 100% of the rehab construction costs. And the investor, that 90% really helps the investor because not everyone wants to put all their cash into deals. I can absolutely help, but this is also for the first time investor. We have programs for those as well. And what are typically the issues that your borrowers have when buying these type of properties, Martin?
The big thing right now is holding costs, making sure that obviously rates are high right now, but finding a lender who can get you the best rates without the most headache is definitely the most important part. And then the other thing is just the little things that we don't know about, like they don't have their insurance in place. They don't have one little aspect of the lending process that nobody accounts for. Just something like that where it just pops up last second and then it adds a few extra days and then they're already bleeding money at that point. So
Right, 100%. Hey, so really quick, Chris, thank you so much for tuning in. Chris says, yeah, this would be a great opportunity to Airbnb this property. Chris actually lives in Oceanside. Chris, if you have any if you have any comments that you want to add about Oceanside, please let us know. Chris is also a 1031 exchange expert. So if you're looking to buy a property, maybe you just sold one, looking to do a 1031 exchange, and you need to buy a property, this can simply be one. Chris also asked, is there a waiting list to see this property? Martin, can you tell us a little bit more about possibly seeing the property?
yeah, and then to answer your other comment about the applying for an Airbnb in Oceanside, it appears to be really easy. All you have to do is list it and then apply for the Airbnb license. Unless it's something like along the coast, you shouldn't have any issue getting it approved. Just depends on your little pocket and how many Airbnbs are in that area. That's the only thing that affects it. And then in terms of showing, we have one tomorrow, July 18th, Friday. We'll be walking the property 11:15 to 12:15. So if you're interested, reach out for the address and we'll get you all the information. And I'll be out there personally. I'll be meeting all my investors, seeing, walking the property, walking through all the features, and seeing what everybody thinks.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, hey, Chris lives in Oceanside. He's a member of the community. He says it's a beautiful area. So if you have any questions, you're seeing this live, whether you're watching it now or you're watching the recording, send a message to Chris. He's, like I said, 1031 exchange expert, and he has more questions. Chris says, do you happen to know how much tax the city charges for an Airbnb permit?
I don't know the exact taxing, but I don't believe it's too much. And any slab issues? No, we have no foundation issues on it. All the big ticket items, foundation, electrical, roofing, all of it's squared away. All of it's good to the best of our knowledge. One thing we pride ourselves in is that we're really good at finding out any of these issues. And if anything does come up, especially in a title check or something that we missed that wasn't disclosed to us, we refund your earnest money and we basically pull out of the deal for you because we're not going to push a property that has unknown issues to us because that's not how we operate.
Right, 100%. Yeah, appreciate the comments, Chris. Lots of developments so close to the beach. Yes, there's definitely a ton, and Any we're gonna stay for some more any more questions that we might have. Chris, I know that you may have some questions. If you have some investors who are watching or going to watch, you certainly send them the link. We would appreciate it. Um, right now, let's just talk about the let's talk about the elephant in the room. Right? It's not exactly market has softened a little bit, quite a bit. Martin, we're not here just to talk about
Mhm.
potential deals and deals. Certainly for someone who might not might be caught up in that. What are some things that you have conversations with about borrowers about buying in this market right now?
When they're buying right now, everyone's accounting for longer holding costs. It's not even the interest rates they're scared of; they're just worried about it sitting.
Yep.
Because it doesn't matter if the market's good or bad, people will always buy. But what changes is how long their exit time, basically. So right now, people are accounting. We were typically doing 3 to 5 months on the high end. Now they're accounting for 4 to 6, 5 to 8. Some of the newer investors are definitely accounting for even higher than that. It just really depends on your flip level. But the most important thing now is your comps. Comps is what's really going to sell properties right now. Before you can get away with getting a really good rehab and maybe even setting your own comp. But unless you're doing a lot of flips every month, you're not going to be one to do that. You don't want to take that risk. So holding costs is definitely the biggest setback right now for a lot of people.
100%, 100%. Yeah, you mentioned the holding costs. Chris asked about the renovations. How many months would you imagine? Um,
Um, Based on what we've seen and the people we've spoken to this about already, no one's passed the 4.5 months. That's just really conservative number for this area. People are knowing that, like I said, Oceanside being the market it is, people aren't expecting it to sit for too long. Uh, Things in this area sell quick. Some of them sell for cash, so they have no fear of it sitting for too long. Again, it's if you got to get that rehab level and you have to stage it and market it correctly, or else it will sit. So as long as you get those simple parts completed, then you should have no problem getting this project done within 4 or 5 months.
Got it. Perfect. 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 4 or 5 months renovation, maybe 1 month of maybe additional permits or anything that you might need to do, and then for 3, 4 or 5 months, put it on the market to sell it. Yeah. No, I think your comment about like making sure that you're able to your expectations of holding time is something that the borrower is actually able to withstand. I think I would completely agree with you. I think the ability to we have a housing shortage, right? It's not as if people don't need to buy quality homes, especially in a place like Oceanside that's like on the way up. Honestly, that Ocean Camp development is just one of a few different developments that I even know of. So the point being is that when you're looking to buy a project like this, just make sure you're well capitalized, because if you can't bear the brunt of the interest costs, it's going to be a problem. And just always have a plan. Always have a plan. Um, so um, in terms of you know what I let's see. Um, so Chris said, yeah, margin has started to slow down. Yes, we are aware of that, and we'll just make sure that we address that. So, and Chris has said, what would be the total holding cost, principal, interest, the tax and insurance for 6 months? In fact, I wanted to mention is that anyone that's watching this, I'm going to drop my email into the comments, or you can even send me a DM on Facebook. We are streaming on YouTube and LinkedIn as well. But I will drop my email in the comments. If you send me an email expressing interest, I'll send you the deal analysis for this property, with the numbers that Martin had presented, and with the interest rates. And then that way you'll be able to determine the holding costs. And Chris, we can comment on your comment. We can comment, and I can send you that analysis as well, Chris. So. Martin, anything that you want to mention about this property, that you might not have already mentioned?
Um, I think we covered everything. Just that the main thing is make sure you research the area before you buy any properties. Just make sure you're in love with it before. Don't let anybody sell you on it. Make sure you come into it knowing that, hey, I want to do something in Oceanside because I know the upside. I know what the market is. I know how desirable it is. make sure you believe that yourself before you do any of these projects, because if you don't believe in the project, it's not gonna work out at the end of the day. So you got to make sure that you really see the exit, you really see the vision, to make sure that you end up with a win.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Now, going back to what you had said and what we're trying to create here with Learning Local Live, there's always going to be opportunities. There's always going to be borrowers that want to buy and create amazing, property to feed this housing shortage that we're experiencing, not only in California, but all over the country. What we're working to do here is really just provide great information. Like I said, if you're watching this now, and you can share it with the other investors that you might be interested in a project like this, I would instruct you to watch the live recording with the comments, with all the comments as you see them, so you can see other people asking questions, and then that way you can, we don't have to repeat any kind of questions. And again, Martin or I will respond to your inquiries depending on what platform it might be on. And we're really here to help. We're not here to do anything else other than give investors who have the means and wherewithal to buy property in Oceanside, renovate it. And also, last thing I wanted to mention too, Martin, this is also something that maybe someone who's buying it for their home wants to do, right? They want to buy it, renovate it for themselves. So, Revolution Realty Capital specifically deals with non-owner occupied investors, but we're happy to also refer you to other people that might be suited to someone a home buyer who's looking to flip not flip, but maybe slowly renovate the property one room at a time. You often get those as well, Martin, I imagine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay. One last question fitting Martin, in that area, do you know how many comparable homes sold in the past 90 days?
In the past 90 days, I want to say at the very least, in just like the way we comp, we start very close by our subject property and then we'll branch out. Within 90 days, I believe there was at least 5, I want to say, if not maybe 1 or 2 less, give or take. But within the past 6 months, there's been a good amount of movement. The only thing throwing off our comps is past any main road is kind of how we divide neighborhoods. So there's a few comps that kind of hurt our valuation, but those are past those main roads. That's a little bit more active of an area, but there's definitely a lot of movement, especially on our road. So
awesome. Okay. Well, Chris, appreciate all the questions. Thank you so much, Martin, for the deal. We'll make sure to share this in all the Facebook, all the social media stratosphere, so that people can actually get all the information. Would appreciate you being on the live today to present this deal. Again, Friday, July 18th at 11 a.m. Correct?
Yep, 11 to 12.
11 to 12. We have we have a first showing. So if you want to go check out the property, Martin and I will drop our information in the comments. And we're gonna end with with this sponsored ad by Revolution Realty Capital. And now you can't sell it. Well, I have a loan for you. I have a lot of investors who had an exit strategy of flipping a home and selling it. Now they have to rechart their course, if they can, refinance into a DSCR loan, debt service coverage ratio loan. If you don't know what that is or would like some help getting out of a rut, I've been there fixing and flipping properties, and this market shifts, and all of a sudden you can't sell it, so you got to do something. My name is Ruben at Revolution Realty Capital. We'll put our information into the live comments so that you can reach out. Would love to help you out.